Hallo zusammen, einen wunderschönen Tag. This video is the first one out of a series on the tenses, so I hope this video will explain the past tense in German a bit more. So today this video is just about the past tense that I just said. If you look at this timeline right here, so you'll see the present tense here, and then you see the imperfect, the perfect, and the pluperfect. All those three tenses, the imperfect, perfect, and the pluperfect, they can be described as the past tense. That could be the overall word for those three tenses. In English, you've got exactly the same tenses as well. You may not be aware of them as such yet, but this video hopefully will give you an insight to this. So the first tense that we're going to look at is the perfect tense. And this is the tense, or the past tense, that is most commonly used in German, both in the spoken and in the written work. It refers to any actions that have happened in the past. So in English, an example could be, I have gone to the cinema, which in German would be, ich bin ins Kino gegangen, or we have read a book. Wir haben ein Buch gelesen. So maybe you have noticed that even though in English it's have for both of them, in German it's slightly different. Now, why is this? So, I'm going to have a look at one example sentence. So, ich habe gestern mit meinen Freunden Tennis gespielt. So, yesterday I played tennis with my friends. So, if we're going to look at it like this, we've got a subject which is ich. We've got a helping word which is habe. We've got information. So, yesterday with my friends and tennis. And we've got a past participle. Now, it is very, very essential that you have a helping word and a past participle in your past tense or perfect tense sentence. If you're missing either of them or one of them, it won't be an accurate past tense sentence. Now, you may wonder why there's a ship on the right-hand side. The reason is to remember the word order. For a German perfect tense sentence, you can think of ship. So you need a subject, a helping word, information, and a past participle. So this sentence here, it says, ich bin gestern mit meinen Freunden ins Kino gegangen. So again, we're going to look at it. Again, there is a ship, so it's exactly the same word order. Now you may have noticed that this time the helping word is not habe, but it's bin. Now why is this? So in German, it's slightly different to English. In English, you've got one helping word, which is have. So I have gone to the cinema. I have eaten a cake. Always have. In German, it's different. So one helping word could be the present tense verb endings of the German word to have, which is haben, which you can see on the left side on the screen. Now, another helping word could be the present tense verb endings of sein, which means to be, which you can see on the right-hand side. So, if we're going to look at different examples, so these are all past participles that will be followed if you use habe, hast, hat, haben, habt, or haben as a helping word. So past participles like gespielt, so played, gegessen, eaten, getanzt, danced, and so on. Most of them, they will also start with the GE as well. Now, some others, they are followed or they go along with the helping word bin, bist, and ist. Now, when they come on the screen, have a look carefully what you may notice where the difference is, especially if you look at their meanings. So what do they actually mean in English? So, we have got some past participles right here. In green, we've got some in red. So the ones in red, they are like gefahren, gewandert, geschwommen, so swam, gone, climbed, ran, flown, these kind of words. Now, what do they all have in common? The reason is most of them, they are any verbs that they could be identified as movement verbs. So when you can actually say you travel from place A to place B. Now some of them, unfortunately, there are exceptions, such as geblieben, which means stayed, or gestorben, which means died, or gewesen, which means been as well. But most of the time, all the other ones, they do involve any kind of movement. So as a rule, what you can remember is that if there's any kind of movement within the past participle and nothing else, just the past participle, then you need to think of those helping words right here. So ich bin, du bist, sie, es ist, wir sind, ihr seid, and sie sind. So this is the perfect tense. Now we need to put it into practice as well. So you may want to pause the video right now. You may want to write down the answers for this. So you need to find out the helping word and you need to find out the past participle. And then you need to translate those sentences into German as well. So pause the video right now and then we're going to go through the answers. So here are the answers. Was hast du am Samstag gemacht? Ich habe ein Auto gekauft. Wir haben in der Disco getanzt. Ich habe Musik gehört. Er hat Volleyball gespielt. And the German sentences down here. Ich bin nach Deutschland gefahren. Mein Bruder hat letzte Woche ein Buch gelesen. Und es hat Spaß gemacht. This especially is a very, very common mistake. Even though in English it goes with the verb to be, it has been fun or it is fun. In German it goes with the verb to make or to do. So keep that in mind, please. Now we're going to have a look at the imperfect tense. Now, to be honest, this is actually a tense that is not quite often used when you speak. More of the time, it's used when you actually write a piece of work, especially when you read any novels or so in German. Then it comes up with the imperfect tense. However, AQA will quite like it if you include some imperfect tense verbs in your work. And also, some of the verbs in German, they are usually followed or usually used in the imperfect tense if you want to use them in the past tense. Examples: it was good, es war gut, and there was lots to do, es gab dort viel zu tun. So how does this work? Now unfortunately haben and sein, they're irregular verbs, so I cannot really give you any kind of pattern how to remember those verb endings in the imperfect tense. These tables that you can see on the screen right here, these are haben, which means to have, and sein, to be, but these are in the imperfect tense. So they're I had, or I was, or you had, and you were, and so on. So you may want to pause the video and copy them down somewhere, or you may want to come back later to it as well. It is very, very important you know them. And we're going to go back to those as well, especially when we're going to look at the pluperfect tense. Now, verbs that often go along with the imperfect tense, these are modal verbs. And on this screen right here, you can see some very common modal verbs. So wollen, dürfen, müssen, können, and sollen. These are quite frequent. How did the verb endings work though? So in German, what you have to do, it's the same what you're doing for the present tense verb endings. First, you need to take off the en. So we don't want to have the en anymore, and then it leaves you with the stem, which for the verb wollen is woll, W-O-L-L. And then you need to add the correct verb endings in the imperfect tense. So for regular verbs, they are a te for I, so ich wollte, a test for you, so du wolltest. For he, she, it, it's a te, so sie, es wollte. For we, it's a ten, wir wollten, ihr wolltet, tet for ihr, and sie wollten, they, in plural, a ten. Now, anything you may spot already if you compare it to the present tense, what you can or what you may have noticed is that the only thing that changed is that it either adds a t or a te to it. If you left out the t or the te here right here, it would be a present tense verb. Now on here you see some with an asterisk, so with a little star in the corner. They might be slightly irregular, and what I suggest is that you have a look in a dictionary how to use them accurately in the imperfect tense. So now it's over to you. Do have a look. Do have a look which of these verbs would go along correctly with this one. So musste, what would it be? Would it be she wanted, he had to, he mixed? Wir schliefen, du kamst, sie saßen, ich las, they listened, I wanted, we asked, you were, and he played. You may want to pause the video as well I will put the answers for this on Edmodo for you. So this is the pluperfect tense. It's the last of the three past tense sentences. And again, similar to the imperfect, we don't usually use them as such or as much in German. But again, AQA will really like it if you include this in your written work or in your spoken work, as well as it shows that you know a variety of tenses. So the pluperfect tense refers to an action that had happened in the past. And even though you may not be aware of it, you do have or do you use the tense in English as well. So examples is I had gone to the cinema. Ich war ins Kino gegangen. We had to read or we had read a book. Wir hatten ein Buch gelesen. Now anything you may have noticed which is quite similar to a different past tense. So you may have noticed that the word order is quite similar to the perfect tense. So again, this slide may look quite similar to one that we previously had, but there is slightly a change. So again, it's Ich hatte gestern mit meinen Freunden Tennis gespielt. So what I've changed here is the helping word, and that's the most important thing that you need to remember when you want to use the pluperfect tense. The helping word is different. It's not habe, it's hatte, and the verb ending or the word order will be or can be remembered by using ship again. That's why we've got a ship on the right hand side. Ich war gestern mit meinen Freunden ins Kino gegangen. So again, it's ship word order. Now, what is different? If you look at the screen right here, you will see that the helping word is the only thing that is different to the perfect tense. This time, the helping words are formed by using the imperfect forms of the verbs to have and to be. Now again, we've got exactly the same. So the way you need to decide on which of those tenses, not which of those tenses, but which of those helping words you need to use, then you need to have a look at the past participle, and then you decide which helping word to use. So if it's anything involved in movement, or anything from that side in red right here, you'll have to use war or warst, war, waren, or wart, or waren as a helping word. Any others, they go with to have as a helping word, so haben. This is the pluperfect tense. So again, over to you. You may want to pause the video, write down the answers in your book. So here are the answers. Weil ich schlechte Noten bekommen hatte, musste ich die Hausaufgaben noch einmal machen. So because I got or received bad grades, I had to do the homework again. Lisa konnte nicht zur Geburtstagsfeier kommen, weil sie krank gewesen war. So Lisa could not attend the birthday party because she had been ill. Als ich am Flughafen ankam, war das Flugzeug schon abgeflogen. So when I arrived at the airport, the plane had already departed. Und als wir ins Kino gegangen waren, haben wir erfahren, dass der Film schon ausverkauft war. So when we went to the cinema, we found out that the film was already sold out. So this is a quick introduction to the different three tenses. Now you may have got the idea, and hopefully got the idea, that you thought, right, it makes a bit more sense now. If not, you still know where to find me. There's plenty of resources on Edmodo that you can use as well, and I'm more than happy to help. Best of luck, vielen Dank fürs Zuhören, auf Wiedersehen.